Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel Li, and I am a senior studying nursing in the traditional BSN program at Penn. So I'm here today to discuss my work in an anthropology course titled Cross-Cultural Methods in Health and Public Policy, in which I focus around dance and its perceived benefits for people living with Parkinson's disease. Because it's hard to measure the tangible benefits of the arts, we often discredit them in the scientific world. But the use of ethnographic research presents a more emic and holistic view of dance's effects. I investigated one particularly weekly dance program called Dance for PD, which explored the perceived mental and physical benefits of weekly dance classes for people living with Parkinson's disease, as well as how professional dance teachers can nurture these benefits. So within the context of life-altering illnesses and conditions, Parkinson's upholds its reputation for being a debilitating neurodegenerative movement disorder that progressively worsens over time, impairing motor skills, autonomic nervous functions, and state of mind. Symptoms vary from person to person, but Parkinson's can cause characteristic tremors, muscle rigidity, gait abnormalities, postural instability, slowing of movement, loss of involuntary movements, and speech changes. It can also lead to significant depression, low self-esteem, withdrawal from activities, social isolation, and an overall decline in quality of life. So, without a cure, its psychological and physical impacts are relevant through an affected person's entire life. The current literature on dance and PD is limited, but studies have found that dance can elicit emotional responses that activate endorphin-related pleasure circuits. So it can improve body feeling, state of mind, and quality of everyday life. Research has also shown that the aerobic activity can improve overall functional mobility for people with Parkinson's, including gait and balance, multitasking, and even progressive motor skill learning in the presence of motor cues. By furthering qualitative research, I hope that evidence of dance's benefits will spread awareness of the need for further research, better resources, opportunities for people with PD to participate in socially engaging and motor skill-based activities. So for this study, I conducted 3 semi-structured interviews with volunteers and teachers involved in the Dance for PD program. In terms of mental benefits, interviewees stressed the importance of making participants feel like more than a patient. For one, the dance classes take part in a large open gym in a church that already holds weekly Parkinson's disease support group meetings. So the space is peaceful, it's comforting, familiar to the participants in a way that a hospital or clinic may not be. Dance also allows people to find meaning in the aesthetic movements of their body by developing their artistry and making them feel more comfortable with having control over their mobility. The type of music being played varies throughout the class, encouraging participants to channel a particular feeling or emotion with their movements through attention to the rhythm and tone of different songs. I was also pleasantly surprised to find that participants are given the opportunity to perform, providing a means for them to be seen and celebrated for their physical capacity and aesthetic engagement. Public performance is effective at building confidence, modeling for others joy in dancing, and affirming their presence as people who can offer something to the audience. Because Parkinson's can be a socially isolating illness, these weekly classes are able to bring together a remarkable group of people that are growing together and building a community through their interest in and increasing familiarity with dance. While within the scope of this course, physical benefits were much more difficult to measure, they certainly weren't neglected. In particular, the teacher of the Bryn Mawr class noticed that dance engages participants physically in ways that alleviate their tremors, at least during class, and for some up to hours or days after class ends. Interviewees agreed that dance increases their confidence, their flexibility in physical movements, helps to loosen locked muscles, and in many ways teaches participants strategies for dealing with their loss of mobility. Ultimately, though, some currently published studies do discuss in detail many of the benefits that dance can have as an intervention for people with Parkinson's disease. They focus heavily on mobility tests, clinical benefits, and quantitatively measured data. Any qualitative data that does exist consists of more results from survey questions, not interviews. So not many researchers have attempted an emic interpretation of dance's intersection with Parkinson's, or evaluated the existing prominent Dance for PD program. So within the context of dance as an existing intervention for people with PD, I found community-based weekly dance classes to be significantly beneficial. Parkinson's is necessarily unmentioned during the class. They don't provide therapy, they provide art. They provide the opportunity for individuals with PD to distract their minds from the frustration of a progressive disease, in addition to discovering joy in an activity that promotes artistry and musicality, confidence, and community building in an environment away from a healthcare facility. So in practice, I hope that this study's findings inspire the implementation of more dance programs to increase local availability of dance to more support group communities. I recommend that more dance and art companies get involved in collaborative partnerships with Parkinson's organizations to provide studio or even classroom space for these classes to take place in. And finally, I hope that effective methods of teaching dance to people with Parkinson's are better evaluated to cater to the particular and specific challenges of this population. So thank you very much.